Hi there, Teacher Harry here. Welcome back to my English lessons where we try to help you to get a better understanding of the English language. Whatever you need, we're here to help you, whether it's business English, whether it's conversational English, job interview techniques, whether it's chit-chat, small talk, grammar, pronunciation, whatever it is, you'll find us here to help you. So, what is the lesson about today? Well, in this particular lesson, we're going to look at asking for, giving and or refusing permission. Okay, so asking for, giving and refusing permission. Okay, now usually when we're talking about asking for something, we tend to recommend that people do it in a polite way. Okay, and particularly in British English, usually requests like this are polite or formal requests. So let me give you a few examples of what a polite formal request will be. Do you mind if I switch on or switch off the light? Do you mind if I take that last piece of cake? Would you mind if I invited a friend around this evening for dinner? May I call you later if you're not busy? Could I possibly borrow your pen, or could I possibly borrow your phone, or could I possibly ask you to help me? Is it possible to move our meeting to another day? I'm a little bit busy today. Is it possible for me to use your name as a reference? I'm looking for a new job and I need to give or provide a few references. Is it possible for me? So all of these really polite, nice ways when you're making a formal request, okay? And of course, when we get or we make a request, we will get some form of a reply. So we would like to look at polite, formal replies. These are the responses to requests. So you might hear something like that. No, not at all, if it suits you. Okay? Yes, you may, of course, give my name. I'd be very happy to act as a reference. Yes, of course, invite whichever friend you would like. They're always welcome here. Of course, be my guest. Borrow my phone whenever you wish. Yes, it's my pleasure to help you. If I can, I would certainly be willing to help. Or certainly, be my guest. So all really, really nice, polite, more formal replies when somebody asks a particular question. Now, if you're using this one in particular, the one I mentioned first, no, not at all, be really careful with that, because when we use the word no, somebody automatically thinks it's a negative. But in English, when we use it in that way, no, not at all, it means no, I don't mind. Yeah. So, for example, if I said to you, would you mind if I borrowed your car? Or would you mind if I used your telephone? The response might be no, not at all, meaning no, I don't mind if you borrow my car. No, I don't mind if you borrow my phone. No, I don't mind if you use my name as a reference. So it's actually a positive, even though we're using the word no. So be really, really careful with that, because it might sound a little strange, but in British English, it's the right way to reply. Okay. Now, let's look at examples of asking and giving permission, okay? So we can use something like, do you mind if? Do you mind if I take off my coat? Do you mind if I pour myself a glass of water? Do you mind if I leave my coat on your chair? Do you mind if I sit down? So they're all ways of asking for permission. And then somebody will say then, yeah, no, not at all. Please take your coat off. Make yourself comfortable. No, not at all. Please sit down. Make yourself feel as if you're at home, okay? Or no, not at all. Help yourself to water or tea or coffee. There's some there for you if you wish to use it. So the request, very polite. The response, equally polite. And as I said, be very careful when we use that word no in the response, because the person is not being negative. They're not saying, no, you can't have any water. When they say, no, not at all, that's what it's there for. The water's there for you. I have some tea and coffee, so if you would like tea or coffee, please help yourself. Feel free. Make yourself feel at home. Okay, so as if you were in your own home. So it's not a refusal, but it's being used in the way to respond politely to somebody who makes a polite request to you. So, for example, could I possibly close the window? It's a little chilly in here. Or could I possibly close the window? It's a little bit noisy outside. And the answer might be, yes, of course. Close the window, and or if you want to turn on the heating, feel free, turn the heating on or turn the heating up just to warm the room. Okay. Now, if somebody wants to refuse your request, which can happen, so you ask for something and somebody wants to refuse, but they don't want to be rude, they will refuse in a more polite way. So usually you would hear the words like, look, I'm sorry, that won't be possible today. So if somebody said, can I push that meeting back by a couple of days, perhaps Wednesday? I'm sorry, that won't be possible. I'm on a day off on Wednesday, or I'm fully booked on Wednesday. How about Thursday? Or do you mind if I take your parking space tomorrow for the next few days? I have to drop the kids to school, so I'm going to have to bring the car. I'm afraid that is out of the question. We don't have any free parking spaces available. In fact, quite a few staff have asked for them, so I've given them the same answer. It's just at the moment out of the question. I'm really sorry. Do you mind if I smoke? I would rather that you didn't. So here it's a very polite but firm way of telling somebody, well, actually, I prefer if you didn't smoke in my room. There's a room at the end of the hall, or smoking in this building is not permitted. So I'd rather that you didn't. Is it possible to leave early today? I've got an appointment with the dentist at 4 o'clock and it takes me a bit of time to get there. Well, I'm afraid not today. We've got a really tight deadline. So is it possible for you to change the date of your dental appointment? Okay, so they're refusals of somebody requesting something, but they're more polite than just saying no. Okay, so lots of the time if somebody asks you something, no. Can I have some more cake? No. Can I go out and play with my friends? No. Can I stay at home from school today? No. So that's quite a definite and a definitive way for somebody to say you're not doing that, yeah? But when we're talking particularly from a business perspective, or where we don't want to appear to be too rude, then we will use other words, not just a simple no. So words like, I'm sorry, that will not be possible. I'm afraid that that's out of the question. I'd rather that you didn't. I'm afraid not. So nicer, more polite ways to say no. You mean the same. You mean it's not possible, but you're saying it in a different way. Okay, so if we look at informal requests and replies, so what we've looked at up to now have been more formal requests and those replies. So if we look at something a little bit more informal, can I have the last piece of cake? Now, somebody might say, you should say, may I have the last piece of cake, because it sounds much more polite. There's not a huge amount of difference between can and may, but may always sounds a little bit more polite. But what is much more common is can. Can I have the last piece of cake, Mum? Yeah? Have you €10 you could lend me? It's not, would you mind lending me €10? That's much more formal and much more polite. Have you €10 you could lend me? It's not impolite, it's just a little bit more informal. And then the answer could be, yeah, sure, no problem. Here's €10. So somebody's agreeing to your request. Yeah, go ahead, have the last piece of cake. So, knock yourself out, somebody might say, yeah, so go ahead. Again, somebody agreeing to your request. Do you mind if I come in late tomorrow morning? Not a problem, yeah? Half an hour, whatever, just, work over your lunch hour or work a bit later tomorrow evening. No problem. Can I go and play with my friends? Not a chance. You've got all that homework to do. You're not going out until you finish the homework. Not a chance. Can you give me some more pocket money? Not a chance. You ask that every week, yeah? So, not a chance. So, again, informal and a refusal, okay? Or if you want to be a little bit rude, and if you're a little bit annoyed with the person making the request, then you might say something like, look, go away, no, or go away and don't annoy me. So that could come across as very short, very sharp, and in some cases a little bit rude. So let me give them to you one more time. Can I have the last piece of cake? Have you €10 you could lend me? And then granting the permission in an informal way. Yeah, sure. Or go ahead. Why not? Not a problem. Or negative, not a chance. Go away. No. Okay? So some less rude than others, some more polite, but all informal. Okay, so hopefully that's given you some indication as to how we can ask or request or grant permissions, both in a formal and an informal way. And also what it gives you is the refusals that you might get, because it's not always the case that every time you ask for something that it's automatically granted. So we've got the permission granted or permission refused. As I said, if you want to contact me, then you can do so on www.englishlessonviaskype.com. Always happy to hear from you. And if you have any comments at all, you want something included in future lessons, well, drop me a line and we'll see what we can do. As always, I hope you can continue to subscribe to my channel, listen to my podcast, and if you check out my web page, you'll see lots of wonderful, wonderful courses that will help you with your English. Okay, well, thanks for listening. Join me again soon.